as moms, as suburban women, I'm just thinking about what I want for 2024. And I will tell you, like, one of my New Year's resolutions for me personally, I want to add a little more lightness to my life. So I feel like in 2024, I'm dedicated to adding a little more fun, like finding like a fun show, a book that I might like, maybe, trying stuff out of my comfort zone.
I've had this goal maybe for a couple of months, so I'm just gonna roll it into 24, but it was to read more, go and, like, read things I should, like classics or, like, really studying, like, some of the real history of our country, because the more I talk to people and learn about things that I never was taught before, I'm like, "I need to know this." Heather Cox Richardson's book, I just finished that, highly recommend. Stamped from the Beginning, just finished that, highly recommend. Like, really learning some of the past history and having a deeper understanding of, like, what actually happened in our country. That's not as late as what you're saying, and I probably need to lighten it up a little, but it gives me confidence when I'm having
Yeah.
conversations with people about, the goings on in the world. I always admire, like, the people like Barack Obama who can, like, reference these, like, classic novels and quotes from, like, people. I'm like, "I should know that stuff."
What are some things that, Red Wine and Blue is going to do as far as organizing in 2024?
Always want to keep building this community. There are so many people who are now, for whatever reason, whatever's going on in their state or their school system are getting activated. And a lot of people have never been politically active before and they just don't know, like, how do I do this? And I love building up that community where women can come in and feel like, oh, this is my place. I can learn here. I can make friends. I feel not alone. I have personally made friends that I would never have met otherwise, and I've had so many women in so many of these grassroots groups across the country say the exact same thing. Definitely want to keep building those communities across the country, whether it's in one of the states where we have staff, or now we have Trouble Nation, which is our brand new group for members across the country. So if you want to start a grassroots group, if you have one and you want to bring it into our network, I know how powerful it is to get organized at the local level. We want to make sure that we win important elections that are coming up in 24 and making sure that suburban women make a difference in them.
I think a lot of times we just don't realize our power, and that's something that I think Red Wine and Blue does a really good job at. And so, as the story producer at Red Wine and Blue, I want people to hear the stories of suburban women. If you see somebody doing something, a lot of times you can look at that and be like, well, maybe I could do that. She did it. Like, maybe I could do that too. I'm all about the power of storytelling, especially in 2024.
100%. And there's so many like women in our networks who have never organized before and are now just out there kicking butt and starting groups and making a huge difference in their community. That's one thing I love is just people finding this and finding their power.
The other thing I want to talk about is our country as a whole. I'm sure you have some thoughts about where our country is going in 2024.
I'm concerned. I think everyone's really aware of what's going on politically, how divided the country is, some of the really, really ugly rhetoric that's coming from the extremists. And that does worry me. And so, my goal for the country is that that is not where we find ourselves in November, and that my kids are proud and are excited, to be politically active and to be involved, and feeling that their country is really strong and a leader across the world.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, 2024 definitely has me a little worried and shaken up. My goal is to do everything that I can, myself, knowing I'm just one person. And what a lot of people, I've heard a lot of organizers say, like, we all can do something. So not all of us have to do everything. And so I feel like that's what we do. And so for our country, like, I'm hoping that people who haven't woken up yet will wake up.
100%. And I think circling back to like red, wine, and blue goals and tying that in with country goals, we focus on relational organizing, which just means friend to friend organizing. That means talking to your friends. So, it's almost 2024. Everybody out there who's listening, you guys have the power to start influencing your friends day one of 2024. So, have conversations with them about things that scare you, about, what potentially happened in this country, share articles, get on social media, post, interact with people. You guys can start laying the groundwork. We have till November to really get the word out about how important it is that the right people get elected and put into office.
Use your voice in your own networks. That's what I feel like, because that's where you can be influential.